Hello again, dragons. Today we are going to be looking at lesson 12.6. 12.6 is actually pretty simple because they just want you to be drawing some of your shapes. Now, in your book that you have here, you will notice they are giving you grid paper to work on. All of these questions have grid paper, so you're going to want to keep your lines straight and your points precise. But what I'm going to do is be using a grid board that is a whiteboard, so I can work with you there. And basically today, they're just having you draw different quadrilaterals to get used to it. So they may show you some shapes, such as there's a question that has these shapes on it like this. And then they say, okay, here is a shape. And they might draw one more. This is one of your first ones here, something like this. Okay. All of these are quadrilaterals, and they will be doing all quadrilateral work tonight. So all three of these have four sides. They have four angles, 1, 2, 3, and of course, if we count this one or the inside huge obtuse angle there, that's more than 90 degrees. This one happens to be 90 degrees and 90 degrees. So we have some with 90 degrees, some less than 90, some more than 90, but we have three quadrilaterals, all have four sides. And they just said, draw an example of a polygon that is not a quadrilateral. Okay, so basically you can draw any picture you want that is not a quadrilateral. So I'm going to draw this, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to draw down here, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to draw this to here, and this to here, and this to here, and this, and this. Now you may say, what is that? Well, it's just a sided shape, but let's find out how many sides. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a 7-sided shape. That would be a septagon. Okay. We don't have to know that, but it is a polygon. It's got straight sides, it's flat, it's closed, and it is not a quadrilateral. That's all they wanted you to do. They just want you to draw a shape that is not a quadrilateral, but make sure it is a polygon. I couldn't do this if I had done something like this and said, okay, I'm going to draw this. That is not a polygon because it has a curved side, and the curved side does not allow it to be a polygon. Okay. All right, let's take a look at something else here. They give you some other examples. Here is an example. Let's go this way. 1, 2, 3. I'm counting out, just like you might have to do on yours. 1, 2. 1, 2. There we go. Nope, I had to redraw that again. That's the advantage of a whiteboard. Should be out here. Got it. Here we go. That looks better. Okay, there's 1. There's 2. And here is 3. Here we have 3 rhombi. Rhombuses, plural of rhombuses is rhombi. Draw something that is not a rhombus. Okay, draw a quadrilateral that is not a rhombus. All right, let's use green to show that this one will not be a rhombus. I have lots of options. I think I'm going to either make a trapezoid. That is a quadrilateral that is not a rhombus. You could also do a rectangle. I could do a very thin rectangle here. This is also not a rhombus. I have my 4 right angles, and there are 4 right angles in these, but the difference is, even though these are 4 right angles, these are rectangles, These are rhombuses because all their sides are the same length. Here, on the rectangle, these are the same length, and these are the same length. The opposite sides, there's the pair, but here, all of these are the same length. All of these are the same length. That's what makes these rhombuses. Even this one, same length. No right angles on this one, that's fine. You don't have to have right angles on a rhombus. That just makes these two squares, which means they're rectangles and rhombuses. Okay, let's take a look at one more thing. They might ask you to find something that doesn't belong. So your job then is to take a look and see what is being drawn and what doesn't belong. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and let's see the last one here. 1. In this case, you have 3 quadrilaterals. They are all parallelograms, but which one does not belong? And explain why. Well, if I look at this one, I need to take a look and say, well, this one has equal sides. This one has equal sides. This one does not have equal sides. That makes these rhombuses and this a rectangle. Therefore, the rectangle does not belong because all its sides are not the same length. All sides not same length. So the rectangle does not belong. One other thing they may have you do, you might have to draw based on an explanation. So in this case, if it said, draw a figure where exactly one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. Take a look at what they're asking you to do. Draw a shape where exactly one pair of opposite sides are parallel. What do they mean by that? Well, first of all, we have to think of what parallel means. Parallel means never connecting. So we want one pair of parallel sides, just one. Well, if I draw a rectangle, I have 2 pairs of parallel sides. They're parallel and they're parallel. They're never going to touch if I draw it correctly, of course, which on this I can. So these are parallel, and these guys over here are parallel. That's not one pair of opposite sides, that's 2 pair. So I need a shape in which one pair of opposite sides. So first I'm going to draw some parallel lines. You don't have to draw them the same length. And now I'm going to go ahead and connect those 2 lines, and oh, a trapezoid has one pair, exactly one pair of parallel sides. The other sides are not parallel. Now I have drawn my quadrilateral that fits this rule. So tonight you might be needing to check your rules carefully. Did you draw the shape that follows that rule? If I draw a square or a rhombus, then they have 2 sides of parallel lines, and that won't fit. Okay, so tonight you're just drawing figures using your grid points, finding different points, and making the shapes that follow the rules.